I'm waving.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, which was my weight loss surgery update / announcement video, I announced to everyone that I am pregnant. So in this video, I want to just kind of give a rundown of what has happened, basically how I found out and my journey as far as being pregnant after weight loss surgery so far in this video. So I also mentioned in my last video that I'm gonna be vlogging every week about my process and what I'm going through, and hopefully taking y'all to my doctor's appointments and keeping you up to date on everything that's going on. I want to be able to be as transparent as possible with this pregnancy for everyone, so you also can learn and understand the way things work and our body works after weight loss surgery, just in case you decide you want to have a child later. So let's just go ahead and jump into this video. So my last menstrual period was July 6th of 2018. So last month on the 6th was the first day of my last menstrual period. And it's funny because I didn't know that I knew I was pregnant. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I didn't know that I knew I was pregnant. But I had signs, and now in hindsight, I see, okay, you definitely had the signs showing you were pregnant. So I have 2 kids, for those who don't know, and I honestly didn't anticipate or think that I was going to have a 3rd child, just because, you know, I just didn't think that was something that was going to happen for me and my family. But we found out that I am pregnant, and some of the things that I noticed now that was happening with my body, that's like, red flag. The first thing was, anytime I was hungry, I would get extremely lightheaded to the point where I felt like I was going to pass out. And it was really weird because when I found out I was anemic back in May, I would get a little dizzy, but not like, not when I'm hungry, like, I get dizzy. It was just like a random dizziness. And this time it felt a lot different. It was like, really, like, every time I was hungry, I felt like I was going to faint. So I thought it was just a little weird. I was telling my sister, I was like, hey, you know, I feel like I'm gonna pass out because I haven't eaten, whatever. So this is like a week or 2 before I actually found out I was pregnant. I was letting her know, like, this is kind of weird. I think I might be getting anemic again. I'll have to get blood tests done and find out what's going on, because something ain't right with my body. Like, something's not right, you know, whatever. So I was assuming that I was getting anemic. So anyways, the day that I found out, I went to work, and mind you, I had pregnancy scares in the past. So I had pregnancy tests laying around my house. So I went to work, and I was talking to this lady at work, and she was telling me how she just found out she was pregnant. And for some reason, I can't tell you why, I don't know why, nothing happened right then and there to make me feel like this, but something told me, Brittney, you're probably pregnant and you should check when you get home. Like, I don't know why, other than the fact that my chemistry with this lady, it just, something told me to go home and check. So when I got home, I took a pregnancy test, and I took a first response pregnancy test, which is a pink dye test. And at first when I took it, it didn't show anything. So then, you know, of course I put it down. Like 2 minutes later, I picked it back up, and I started to see a line. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Like, hold on, is this for real? Am I really pregnant? There's no way I can be pregnant right now. What? This is crazy. So, of course, what I do, get on the phone, call my sister. I'm like, hey, like, do you see this line? And she was like, yes, I see it. And of course, I'm like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I can't believe it. Like, I was scared of how my husband was going to feel, because, like I said, it wasn't planned. So I was afraid how he was going to feel. And I was just like, we're building a house, and I just didn't know. It's just so much is going on, and I wasn't sure how I felt, or how I should feel. Like, I was very, very nervous. So I found out I was pregnant on July 30th of 2018, which was a couple weeks ago. And I debated on telling my husband right away, because I wanted to go ahead and get blood tests done to confirm that I was pregnant for real and that it wasn't a false pregnancy test, because you hear about false positives more frequently than not. And I just wanted to make sure completely, like, I went to the doctor and everything was good. But I can't keep stuff in. I can't hold it back, especially not from my husband. I tell him every single thing about me. So I went ahead and took another pregnancy test just to make sure. That one came out positive. So then I went to him and I was like, you know, babe, look. And I just gave him the sticks. And he was like, what? Like, what is this? Mind you, he had just I woken him up out his sleep. He was like, what? So he puts his glasses on, he's looking, he's like, no way. I'm like, yes, babe. So he thinks I'm playing with him because I always play with him. I used to play in the past about it all the time. And I'm like, babe, I promise you I'm not playing with you. Like, I'm not playing right now. I'm so serious. So he gets up and he's like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. So he freaked out for a little bit in his own mind. He stayed to himself, and honestly, I didn't want to bother him. This is like a big shock. I just didn't want to bother him. So I went out and cleared my mind for a couple of hours and let him clear his mind. And luckily the kids, they were sleeping, I think, or it might have been a daycare, but I think they were sleeping. So he had time to himself. I had time to myself. When I came back home, he was completely fine. And then from that, him being fine made me feel relieved. And of course, now we're both like extremely excited and happy for this baby. It's like a little miracle baby to me because I never thought I would have another child. And I've always wanted 3 kids. When I told my husband when we got married, I always wanted 3 kids. That's just what I wanted. So, I just never thought it would happen again. And it did. So I'm so blessed and I'm excited. I'm happy that I'm having this baby. But a little bit more about the pregnancy. So that's how he found out. I ended up telling him, and that was kind of our emotions at the time, and everything. So my children found out the same day because my daughter ended up finding my pregnancy test. I had them tucked away, and for whatever reason, she was snooping around and found them. So we ended up telling the kids, and they were so excited. My daughter has for a long time, like maybe a year, has been asking me to have a baby. And it's tough when you know you're not going to be able to have one, but your kids want you to have one. They keep bringing it up. So she was just so excited when she found out that I was pregnant, and so was my son. So they found out that day. So I'm just trying to look at my notes in the order of what I wanted to tell you what was going on. So I found out July 30th, like I said, that I was pregnant. So I messaged my doctor and let them know, like, hey, I'm pregnant. Pregnancy test came back. Are you going to do blood work? Are you going to do a urine test? Like, how does this work? She was like, the urine test that we do at the facility is the same as the home pregnancy test, so we're not going to test you again. I'm like, okay. But she acted like she didn't want to put blood work in for me either. And for me, I needed it to be confirmed for my mind to be cleared. And so long story short, my first doctor acted like she didn't want to do anything. So I switched doctors. I work with Kaiser Permanente, so I get to choose and pick who I want my doctor to be. I changed my doctor. And my new doctor put the orders in quickly for me to have my my blood work done. So my first HCG beta test came back. I had that done on August 2nd. And I was 3 weeks and 6 days. So yeah, when I found out that I was pregnant, I was 3 weeks and like 3 days, something like that. When I first found out. So my first appointment, my first HCG blood drawn was on August 2nd at 3 weeks and 6 days. My beta levels came back at 411.3. Now, in order to be considered pregnant on a blood test, your HCG has to be more than 5. So, and you can look up, there's charts that tells you like how far along you probably are based off your HCG levels, although it's not 100% accurate, but it gives you kind of an idea. So anything more than 5 is supposed to be good and confirm that you're pregnant. Of course, they want higher numbers. So in the 4-week range, I believe it was like 5. Anywhere from 5 to 426 puts you in the 4-week range. So at 3 weeks and 6 days, I was coming back at a 411.3. And then my doctor was like, numbers look great. Everything looks good. But I want you to go back on Monday and test again just to make sure your numbers are doubling like they're supposed to. And I'm like, okay. So on Monday, which was August 6th, I was 4 weeks and 3 days. My HCG levels that day went to a 2,473, which again is falling in the range of the proper range. It's falling in like a 4 or 5 week range, I believe is what the chart was saying. So my doctor set my first appointment. My doctor doesn't want to do a first appointment until you're 7 to 8 weeks pregnant. So my first appointment is August 27th. I will be 7 weeks and 3 days on the 27th when I go make this appointment, or when I go to this appointment. And at this appointment, I'll get an ultrasound done. I should be able to hear the baby's heartbeat, make sure the placement of the baby is correct, and everything is healthy and good with the baby. And I'm so excited and ready for all of this, and hopefully everything is fine with the baby. I kind of get worried sometimes because you get the cramping and you get like all this stuff that you feel in your body going on, and you're worried, like, is this something normal or is it not normal? Because I don't remember how my pregnancies were in the past. I was 17, had my son when I was 18, and then 20, had my daughter when I was 21. I believe is how it worked. Or 19, had my daughter when I was 20. So I was like young, and I don't remember my pregnancies, especially my early part of my pregnancies. So I don't know if what I feel is normal, but I have complete and total faith in the Lord, and that he has his hands on my family. He has completely guided us through our entire journey of life. If you knew my story of where I started, you won't believe where I am now. And I just completely have complete hope and faith that the Lord is going to guide me and this baby to a safe full-term pregnancy, and everything's going to go like it's supposed to. So some of the symptoms that I'm having now are at 4 weeks. What am I? I am 4 weeks and 5 days today. 4 weeks and 5 days. So some of the symptoms that I'm feeling now are sore and tender breasts and nipples. I'm having cramping occasionally on and off. Like right now I'm cramping. But like a couple days ago, I wasn't cramping. So it comes and goes. I've had lightheadedness, dizziness, frequent urination. Like that's like a given, like all the time. I've had some numbness in my arms a little bit, but my doctor said that's nothing to worry about. That's more of like my sleeping position and how I lay down, that my body, my arms are getting a little numb or whatever. I've had headaches. What else have I had? I've had like little spells of nausea here and there, but nothing too serious yet. I know it's coming because I definitely remember that with my kids. Like I was nauseous, so I remember that. So I'm sure that's going to start coming. What else have I been having? I can't remember everything right now. I have pregnancy brain too. That's definitely something I've been having. I totally forget everything. But those are just a few things about my pregnancy so far that's been happening. I just wanted to update y'all, let y'all know. There's a reason why I'm going in this phone, but I don't remember. So I'm gonna put the phone back down because I don't remember what I was gonna go in there for. So next week I plan to come back and give y'all an update at 5 weeks. I'm also gonna be taking pictures every week to continuously like monitor and track my pregnancy. So I'll post a picture that I have for my 4 weeks right at the end of this video. But thank you so much for watching. Again, continue to follow this journey with me, and I appreciate all of your support and everything that y'all do. I will see y'all next week in my next 5-week video, and I'll let y'all know if anything happens in between time. Also, before I go, if you want to be able to follow me on a more frequent basis, you can check me out on my Instagram, my Facebook, and then I do Snapchat here and there, but basically my Instagram and my Facebook, and I'll leave all the information below for you so you can find me. But again, I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day. Bye.